In our previous unit, we talked about assigning tasks to the individual that will be responsible for completing them. In this unit, we will look at some basic techniques that help you in coaching the individual as he or she carries out that task being assigned to them. Now, consider the example of a sports coach who works every day with his or her players in practices and even during the games to bring out the best in them. A good coach sets clear expectations for each player, monitors the player's progress, provides positive feedback to the players, and on an ongoing basis, when necessary, works with the players to improve their performance. Observation is the most important element in assessing an individual's performance. After you assign a task to an individual, your primary function is to stay in touch with the individual in order to see how he or she is performing the task. Now, this doesn't mean spying on the individual. It means leading by walking around. It means keeping in touch with people. It means catching people doing something right. When assessing an individual's performance, look at how well the individual is coming along, in meeting the expectations and the deadlines that you discussed when you assigned the task to them. Assessing performance requires judgment on your part to determine the appropriate amount of detail and the frequency of the interaction depending on the individual's ability and motivation levels on that specific task. Don't antagonize A1s or M1s by breathing down their neck constantly, but be sure to be available to help them. With A2s and M2s, you want them to know that you're there if they need your help or if they want to consult with you. With A3s or M3s, your assessment of the performance could be as simple as asking them a few open questions like, how are things progressing, or do you foresee any problems in meeting our deadline? A good rule when asking individuals for information is to begin with general questions and then move to more specific ones. For example, when asking an individual about a task you assign to them, you might want to begin with something like, how's it going? And then move on to, are you getting the cooperation you need from A, B, and C? And finally, something like, did Bill provide you with the information you asked for? The real value of assessing performance is that it constantly challenges your assessment of performance levels. Now, this is useful because it prevents us from pigeonholing people and forces us to look for growth. Now, this is very, very important. Even though you may see changes in ability and motivation during your assessment of their performance, you must continue to use the initial leadership style to coach the individual right through completion of the task. Now, the next time you assign a similar task to that same individual, you can change the leadership style to reflect the individual's new ability and their motivation levels. Now, one of the most difficult challenges leaders face is motivating others. Even though leaders understand the importance of motivation, dealing with it is very difficult. Over the years, leaders have come to realize that when staff are given the opportunity to input into the decision-making process, when they are kept informed, and when results are praised and they are recognized for their efforts, their motivation levels are much higher.